Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to My Hero Academia Season 3, Episode 16. So, here we are at another episode of My Hero, and I'm excited. Just as a note for you before we begin, though, I might mention this at the end as well. Next week, unless something changes, I am going to a cosplay beach party. And as such, I'll be gone pretty much all day, I would assume. So I won't be able to get to My Hero on Saturday next week, so I'll probably have to get to it on Sunday. So, unfortunately, it'll be a day late next week. And next week, MLP starts up again as well, so I'll probably be a day late on that, too. We'll see. MLP, I will say right now, will take precedence, because MLP will always take precedence. I'm sorry for those of you who don't come to the channel to watch that and, do come to the channel to watch My Hero. But I started off as an MLP reactor almost exclusively. So it's always just going to take precedence on the channel. If I'm going to have to choose between that and My Hero, I'll put that first. So if it comes to that, basically, is what I'm saying, My Hero would have to be pushed back to Monday, while MLP would be on Sunday. Either we'll figure that out when we get to that, because that's not important right now. What's important right now is this week's episode of My Hero. So last we left off, we had started the provisional licensing exam, and it's basically a free-for-all tag with a 3-strike policy. So all of the students, there's over 1,000 of them. I think around 1,500 of them, actually. They're all wearing these targets on parts of their body. They have to be within sight, so they can't be hidden. I think one of the examples, you couldn't put them in your armpit or something like that. They have to be in very obvious places of your body. When 3 of them are hit, when all 3 of the targets are hit by these little balls, and they're all lit up, because after a target's hit, it lights up. After all 3 of them are hit and light up, you're out. And the person who got you out scores the point for taking you out. So it was kind of mentioned that you could technically take someone else's point, basically. It's kind of the same concept in a video game as a kill steal. If you don't know what that means, it means you're working together, you're on a team or something. They're working to take out an opponent, and then you come in and you're the one who actually takes them out. You're the one who actually gets that killing hit, and you get the points for it. In my opinion, I don't believe in kill steals and all that. I believe that if there's a team effort, then it goes for the team. I don't believe in kill steals in that scenario. In this scenario, though, this is an all for, it's all against each other. There are no actual teams. Even the students of UA are technically against each other here, because only 100 of the participants out of like I said, almost 1,500 people are going to get their provisional licenses here. So that's very small. That's I think that's less than 1%. No, I don't think, no, not less than 1%. Less than 10%, though. Less than 10% for sure. Either way, it's a very small amount of the students who will be getting their provisional licenses. And because of this, everybody's going to be against each other. However, at the beginning, everyone is going against UA. They're all coming after UA to try and crush them and take them out early. And the reason for this is because UA are the only ones there whose abilities and all are known beforehand because of the sports festival. So they're just automatic targets, especially the ones who are really strong, the ones like Bakugo, who won the sports festival, Todoroki, who was in 2nd place, of course, Tokigami, who was in 3rd, he's going to be up there. Izuku's probably going to be gone after pretty well. But it looked like, from what we saw, the little bit we did see during last episode, everyone was being gone after, though. Someone is going after at least every other member of the UA class. So it's not like it's just um, it's not like it's just the top players of Class 1A. And it's only 1A who's there because 1B, Vlad's class, they're doing at another location. That was a big point too. Classes 1A and 1B are doing their things at separate locations. Um, Now we also have some new characters who are introduced. We have this school. I don't remember the names of the schools right now, but this one school where they all are wearing these like really like I want to say sailor type hats, but more like military, I'd say. Um, yeah, definitely more military style. And I mentioned before one of the characters in that is I had seen fan art and stuff of before. I don't know her name yet though. I don't think it said. If it did say, I just forgot. Um, but I don't think it said her name yet. There's the one guy who's I kind of the one that they focused on last episode for their school. The one who was just like overly excited and hyped about everything and just he apparently has this great admiration for UA, but from what I gathered, he wanted to go to UA but didn't or something like that. I'm not entirely sure on that one. Then there's this other school, which I think is the school under the joke hero girl, who's fantastic. I love her. She's hilarious and kind of adorable too. But there's this one dude under it who's kind of looks like a taller, black-haired Izuku, and he has this hidden side to him that Bakugo noticed. He's like smiling and being all nice, but then Bakugo's like, your eyes aren't matching what your words are saying and stuff, and it's like he noticed that, and Bakugo would be one to notice. I've said it before. I'm gonna keep saying it. Like you got to get used to this. I'm gonna keep saying it. Bakugo is extremely smart. He is extremely smart. He's very hot-headed and very aggressive, but he is very smart. He gets top marks on his tests and stuff. He got into UA because he was that smart and that good in the practical exam too. He's like a very good student in almost every sense. The only issue is that he was a bully, and even though he's mellowed out a lot, he's still very aggressive and not the greatest person still. But he's getting there. He's getting there. um, but the point is, he is very smart. He's very observant, and he's just really good at what he does and what he knows and everything. Like Izuku is very smart in and of himself because he's also very observant and very knowledgeable about things. But I think Bakugo is actually smarter. Like just in terms of like testing and everything, in terms of like doing well in classes. Like I think Bakugo just has this natural intelligence to him, which does in turn help with his fighting ability. It helps him know what to do and how to do it. Even during the first training exam held under All Might during Season 1, when he was doing the villain hero exam and he was facing off against Izuku there, the way he changed his trajectory and everything and launched himself into the air and whatnot, it showed extreme intelligence and foresight. So I'm sorry, I'm gushing over Bakugo right now, but honestly, he deserves it. Like, yes, he is kind of a jerk, but as I said, he is growing as a character. And even beyond that, he deserves to be acknowledged for his skill and ability. Izuku acknowledges his skill and ability constantly, and so do the others. He's honestly amazing, like Izuku says. um, I really think he's one of the most likely candidates to get their provisional license from Class 1A here. Especially with the new tricks he's been learning, such as directing his explosions in a straight, like, laser of explosive energy, which is still amazing, by the way. I'm still in love with that idea. And, of course, the others have been improving, too. Izuku's been improving. Apparently, Kaminari's been improving, though we haven't seen exactly how. Um, just all of them, really. And that's kind of the point. These characters grow and improve and get better and better as the series goes on. And it's different from a lot of the classic shonen anime you think of. Like when you think of Dragon Ball Z, it's like, yes, the characters get better and stronger as time goes on, but that's because the enemies like just keep like growing to obnoxious levels of power each time. Like each enemy, each main bad guy is just so much obnoxiously stronger. The heroes have to get stronger just to balance it out. And I don't like that. I don't like that kind of writing. With this, it's like we've seen the pinnacle of the bad guys with All for One. We've seen like the height, the ceiling of the villain's power. And so at this point, it's not so much about that each villain's going to be stronger than the next. It's each villain's going to give a different kind of fight. They're going to give different interactions with our heroes that are going to make them have to do things differently and adapt to different situations in new ways. It's not that they're going to be stronger. It's more inclined to growing the characters than just forcing them to be stronger just to balance it out. You get what I'm saying? But either way, either way, there's a lot that that could go on in this this provisional licensing exam. And I'm really excited to see what some of these other students, especially the new characters from the other schools, I'm excited to see what their powers are. So we should probably do that. We've been talking for quite a while, but I did have a lot to say, and honestly, this is one of those shows I do usually have a lot to say on, because I love it so much. It's my favorite anime of all time now. So, yeah, we should be moving on. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts, and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in today, and I will see you at the reaction. Okay, and we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so another great episode. We're getting more into the provisional licensing exam, and by the end of this, we are about halfway through. So it's most likely it's going to finish off this part of the exam next time around, next episode. But apparently this is only part 1, so the 100 who get this aren't getting their provisional licenses necessarily. They're moving on to the next round. So, how many people are going to get their licenses in total? That's the question. It's not entirely clear. I guess we'll just have to see how that works. But this episode, we saw the continued attack against the students of UA, as well as we got to learn some of the quirks and stuff of the students of the other schools. For example, the one dude who I don't know his name, but he looks like the tall black-haired Midoriya with the kind of like light green outfit and all. He apparently can create vibrations through anything, except humans, I guess. Except like living tissue. But he can create vibrations, make a shake, and presumably control like the amount of vibrations. So he can like create earthquakes basically, or he can just make something vibrate like violently so that maybe someone gets sick. Now he can't affect a person, like a biological person, but he can affect the clothes they're wearing, I presume. So he could make the clothes vibrate to the point where it like maybe makes the wearer like physically ill or something. I don't know. We haven't seen like the full extent of that quirk yet. We've only seen like his ultimate move basically. Then there's Inashi. I think that was the name. Inasha? Inara? Something like that. But the passionate guy. So apparently he controls wind. And that's a pretty standard kind of power you would think of, but it can be done in a lot of different ways if you really have full control over wind. Even to the point where you could maybe create it. As you could see, he was pulling specifically the balls in. He was controlling it to such a degree that he was only pulling the balls toward him and not the people. presumably with a wind control power like that, he could also create like these like blades of wind and stuff. So that could be a very diverse ability. But he uses that to pull in these balls and like eliminate 150 people at once by shooting them towards all of them. All at once, all for one person. That's intimidating, legitimately. And then we also had Cammy. Cammy is the most interesting character right now because I'm not sure if that was her now. Because this, I'm just going to say Cammy for sake of ease. She has this ability that allows her to transform into someone, anyone she wants. But when she used it, it didn't like come up with this thing telling us that that was her quirk. And that throws me off. Because all of the others, it did that for. It's like, oh, this is this person's quirk. It's like they use their quirk. The vibrate dude uses his quirk. And then it comes up, oh, this dude's quirk is vibrate. This is what it does. And it's like, it does that with everyone. Even with the one guy who could do the trajectory stuff. It came up with him. It did it for the other dude who, I forgot what his quirk was, the guy with like the little rock head kind of thing going on. It did it with the girl who could scrunch up her body like a turtle. And it was doing it with all of these different characters, but with Cammy, it didn't. And I'm thinking the reason it didn't do that is because that's not really Cammy. I'm thinking that whoever this is, that either she was pretending to be Cammy he or she was pretending to be Cammy this entire time, and that whoever it really is not someone who's supposed to be there, or it's just another student and the real Cammy is off somewhere else. Now, if it's the first option, I don't know, because if it's someone who's not supposed to be there, I would have to assume it's a bad guy. Which means it could either be someone we don't yet know and haven't been introduced to, or someone we do know, but haven't learned the power of yet. And I think the only person that we've seen for the villains so far and don't actually know the quirk of yet is Himiko Toga. Because all we saw from her is that she's apparently psychotic and loves taking people's blood, or for some reason has to. It almost seemed like she was being ordered to or something, like she had to like gather a certain amount. And so we don't actually know her quirk, so there is a possibility there that this might be her. Maybe she snuck in and pretended to be Cammy in order to do so. But then again, there is also still the possibility that it's someone we haven't yet met. Or there is still the possibility that it's just another student. It's really hard to say. If it is Himiko, though, maybe the fact that she took blood has to do with it. Because she did take blood from Uraraka. Which could explain how she could transform into her, which means she would also have to, if that was the case, she would also have to have taken blood from the real Cammy. Huh. I don't know. We've seen like nothing for Himiko's power so far, so I can't say. I just don't know. At the moment, it's kind of, we have to presume it's either Cammy or another student, because there's really no hints that it's a villain. Though her mannerisms, now that I think about it, the way she was acting, especially at the end before she ran away, kind of made me think of Himiko. Just the way she was acting, the way she was saying things. Like, in fact, specifically, she said to Izuku that she wanted to talk to him more. And the way she said it and everything, we know that Himiko kind of has a thing for Izuku. That she kind of, I guess, has a crush on him a bit. So that would kind of fit with that theory. And like I said, her mannerisms, the way she moved, the way she was talking and everything, kind of reminded me of Himiko. I think that's going to be my theory, my headcanon right now. I'm thinking that might be Himiko Toga. But why would she be infiltrating the licensing exam? Just to get close to Izuku? Or is there something else going on? And I could be completely wrong on this too. I'm just thinking because a lot of this is kind of making me think it's her. And if it is, it's cool. I would actually really like that. Especially, again, since the fact that they didn't actually say that that was Cammy's quirk. They didn't come up with that, like, announcement thing saying, oh, this is her quirk, this is what it's called, this is what it does. Like it did for everyone else. So it's gotta either be someone we haven't seen yet before, or it's hiding who it is on purpose, which in case it would make sense if it was Himiko that it would hide that fact. Oh. I am really, like, that is really cool if that's true, if that's the thing. If that is really Himiko, that, I like that. Because again, maybe that's the thing. Maybe she needs to, like, take in someone's blood in order to transform into them. Maybe that's the reason why she had to take the blood. So she could infiltrate their group. Oh, this is getting interesting. Just the fact that this is a legitimately, like, this is a legitimate sounding theory to me is phenomenal. It's fascinating. Even if it's not true, I just like the fact that that's a possible theory. If you know what the deal behind this is, by the way, remember, no spoilers. Don't even tell me if I'm close or anything. No spoilers. But yeah, this episode was great for showing off a lot of the new characters, a lot of their quirks, and just showing how this battle's continuing to go. As I said, we have like 54, I think it was, when it ended off at 54 students who have already passed out of 100. So there's only 46 spots left. We know that it's definitely clear not everyone from Class 1A is going to get in there. There's the ones I would like to get in there, like Sue and Jiro, and of course Bakugo, Todoroki, Izuku, and the ones who I definitely think will, like Bakugo and Todoroki. But there's no guarantees. Also, one thing it hasn't actually said, I don't think, where do they leave, like, the arena after they pass? Like, after, like, for example, Inasa, or whatever his name was, after he eliminated those 150 others and passed, does he just get to leave the arena? Because at this point, he can't be taken out, because he's already passed, right? He's already passed and is guaranteed a spot in the next round. That's what I gathered from it. But I don't think it ever actually said, like, if they actually do leave the arena when they pass. Maybe it did and I just either missed it or forgot. Either way, this episode is fascinating to me just because of the theories I can come up with for it. And I am definitely I'm definitely saying that is my theory right now. I think that's Himiko Toga. Based on the fact that it did not tell us what her quirk's name was and the specifics behind its ability, outside of what, like, I think Izuku or whoever said, and the fact that her mannerisms, the way she spoke, the specific things she said, everything kind of made me think so. Everything is kind of pointing to the fact that, plus, again, the fact that we never found out Himiko's quirk, and she's like the only one we never found out the quirk for before, out of the Vanguard Action Squad. It's gotta be. Oh, I am so fascinated by this. Again, if I'm right or wrong or whatever, do not tell me. I want to find out for myself. And if it is, though, where's the real Cammy? I'm really fascinated by this. I'm sorry. Either way, tell me your thoughts on this episode in the comments below. Tell me what you thought of all these new quirks. Tell me what you thought of just all of this just amazing action we're getting in this episode. Leave all that and more down in the comments below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
And though you've come through many obstacles, shed tears along the way, you're still standing.